Live from New York, it's Saturday night. Wait, wrong show. Hey everybody, as you know, I am Eli the computer wrong show. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be working on yet another MacBook. Let's take a look at this MacBook and see what's wrong with it and see if we can make it work again. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, the first thing I notice here, unplug the battery, as we always do, is that this machine is taking 19 milliamps. You have a green light in the charger. This is a green light, which means that PP342_G3 hot is going to be present on this board. You know, just about everything's been unplugged from the board, besides speaker, display, and webcam, which don't really draw much power, so the likelihood that this is not a board issue is very low at this point. We are going to take the board out of the case so that we can take a look over the board, make some measurements, and try and see if we can figure out what's wrong with it. One thing you may notice is that this machine is an 820-3115. Very, very old. This board is very, very old. Even older than Mr. Paul Daniels. Yeah, you can tell that this is old. It's got the RAM is separate from the board, the drive is separate from the board. If you want more storage on this machine than what it comes with, you can do that! I can't wait for nitrile gloves to return. I'm really not a fan of these latex shit. They break so easily. I trim my nails, like I've been trimming them almost just about every day, so that they're really, really not touching up against the gloves, but they do, and it rips. These are so shitty. I hate latex gloves, I really do. I miss my nitrile gloves so much. I hope people stop buying them up like crazy. Or at the very least that we actually are able to produce gloves again. Can we be a country that makes shit again? I want to be able to buy nitrile gloves. Why do people want to fix an 8-year-old machine? Well, they like the machine. I don't know. Why do people want to fix a 40-year-old house? Why do people want to buy a 40-year-old house? You know, they see intrinsic value in it. If it still works, why not fix it, is what they're thinking. And who am I to tell them otherwise? As long as I can fix it for less than what it would cost to buy this machine in working condition on eBay, I'm good. Now, if the problem is that if the machine costs more to fix than what it would cost to purchase the same model again. And usually when that is the case, I will tell the customer that, because not telling the customer that is a douchey thing to do. Yeah, you could say, well, they asked me to fix it. I did what they asked. That's all my responsibility was. And something tells me when people like that die, they're going to be going to a place a little bit more south of where I am. A little bit more south. So, first thing we do is after we've unplugged everything, let's see how many amps it takes. So we got 20 milliamps that we're taking. So the first thing that I'm going to do on this board, same thing that I do on every MacBook, is check to see what our main power lines are. Now remember, you need PP3V42 to be present in order to get a green light in the charger. So checking for that would be pointless because that powers the SMC and the one-wire circuit, which is what has to speak to the charger to get you a light. That's present. We know that. It's a little higher than what I would expect, but whatever. Our PP-G3 hot is 12.5 volts, which is what I would expect. PP5ES5 is our 4.97 is a little on the low side, but not enough that I'm going to care. Let's see. PP5ES3, not present. Let's see if there's a short to grounds on PP5ES3. For those wondering, yes, I actually do remember where everything is on this board. Okay, 9 ohms. 10. Come on, just give me a number, you fucking piece of... Oh, come on. Give me a number. Give me a number! Damn you! Stop counting! Stop it! I had my problem figured out! Oh, fuck you! What's up? Okay. You fucking troll board. Okay, we're gonna... There's no corrosion hiding in between the heatsink and the board. Hello, DEF CON ID. Let's look through our list of rails now, shall we? So PP5ES3. Let's try a diode mode measurement. I don't trust this ohms measurement trolling. Alright, that's not short-circuited. So PP5ES3 is not short-circuited. Let's check other rails on this machine. PP5ESO is usually not short-circuited. Not at all short-circuited. PPV-RTC-G3 hot. PPV-RTC G3 hot is there. PP5ES3 is not there. PP3V3S5 is going to be required to get the PCH started. Kind of curious if that's there. You know, just curious is all. Just curious. Just curious. And it's not. We are missing PP3V3S5. Let's check on another component just in case. PP3V3S5 is missing. You're not going to get anything if PP3V3S5 is missing. So now we need to figure out why PP3V3S5 is missing. PP3V3S5 is going to be the basis for my 3.3 volt power line. So PP3V3S5 is not there. And PP3V3S5 is important because that's what's going to power the PCH. The PCH is what's up here. And the PCH is going to be responsible for all of my signals that do all the things that I need, like sending out PM sleep S5L, S4L, S3L, and so on and so forth. Douchebag Lives Matter says the plural pirate Captain Gunbeard. I don't know if mine does. I'm not the nicest person. Okay, so PP3V3S5 N-trip. This is the rail that's missing over here, right? PP3V3S5 N-trip. This is what's gonna... The way this turns on is actually quite interesting. So check this out. This is interesting. Rather than sending an enable to the chip, the way N-trip works is the enable is always on the chip. So the chip is naturally going to turn itself on. It only turns itself off if you short its N-trip pin to ground, which Q7221 can do if P3V3S5 ENL is present. P3V3S5 ENL is going to come from, I believe, the SMC. Yeah, here we go. So SMC PM G2 enable, when this is in, then it's going to send that out. So let's see if SMC PM G2 enable is present. Because we could have a problem with my SMC. And if that's the case, then I got a board for ball. I don't think I have an SMC to this. This thing is old. This thing is old. SMC PMG2N is 3.4. Okay, so now let's figure out what's going on here. So SMC PMG2 enable is present. And when that's present, I'm supposed to get P3V3S5 ENLR? Oh, I'm not supposed to get that. Okay, so when P3V3S5 ENL is present, I don't get anything. This transistor is going to short the N-trip to ground, and this won't work. So this actually needs to not be present. P3V3S5 ENL needs to be away. Let's see if that's away by measuring it over there. Okay, so it's not there. Remember, P3v3S5 will be enabled when the signal is low. Now let's check pin 6 of my TPS 51125 chip. My N trip. It's going to be up here. That's low. That's low. That should be 3 volts. Bad TPS 51125. Or wait. No. Don't be an idiot, Lewis. You forgot something there. Make sure that the voltage is coming into the chip that's supposed to. So PPVin S5 anyway, PPVin S5 VS3, that comes into U7200. That's required for this chip to work, and that's going to be present on pin 16. So we have PP bus G3 hot. That's a subrail of PP bus G3 hot. Let's see if that's present. Yo. Alright, so 12 volts is there. So I'm going to take an educated guess that the chip is bad. And the reason I'm going to say that the chip is bad is because it is being told to turn on. Its N-trip signal is not being pulled low. And in spite of its N-trip signal not being pulled low, it's not making the rail that I'm supposed to. And just for shits and giggles, we will make sure that that rail is not shorted to ground, because I didn't do that. One must keep in mind. Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Oh, yeah, I forgot to check that. Fuck. Yeah, okay. PP3v3S5 is shorted to ground. So, this is the part where I figure out that the PCH is bad, and I give it to Chris. But let's see if that's what's wrong here. I'm gonna take... Yeah. I thought I had an... I didn't do that in the right order. You know, the sad thing is I actually wrote my guide on how to troubleshoot when a power rail is missing, and I didn't obey it because I was just about to replace a chip before checking for a short on PP3v3S5. Because it's not common on the A1278 for PP3v3S5 to be shorted, but that doesn't matter. Reality does not care about my assumptions. So now we have to figure out why. Why? So let's do that now. Nice sounds. I'm not trying to make nice sounds. I'm mad. I'm angry. I want my board to be an easy fix. Is that so much to ask that I be able to make money without using my brain? I just want life to be easy. I think I'm being fairly reasonable here. Okay, let's just get this over with so that we can see that the PCH is shorted and go home. That's what this is going to be. Shorted PCH. That's what this is going to be. I'm going to find out after all this that I wasted all this time on a shorted PCH. That's the type of board that I would grab from the new slots. I'm not even checking anything else because I'm just assuming it's the PCH or the CPU. Come on, burn my finger already. Let's get this over with. Let's get this charade over with. You think staying as a call-out business is viable in the long term? Would having a store in a populated area be better? The purpose of getting a store is when you have so many people who want the same time that you start losing customers. That's a good question. So the way this works, at some point, you're going to have so many people calling you that want service at the same time, and you're not going to be able to service them all because you cannot be in two places at once. So once you have 5 people that all want the 5:30 time slot, and you're at the point where you can say, hey, can you do 5, and then you do 5:30, and then you do 6, and then you do 7. Once you're at the point where that's not doable, and you're also not just losing clients, but also the constant travel is causing inefficiencies in your business, then that's when you get a shop. You don't get a shop because you think it's a good idea to get a shop. You get a shop because it would actually allow you to work better. Don't assume that other people are doing things. Don't assume that the way other people are doing things is the best way to do it until you've thought it through. Think it through first. Okay. So something is warm, obviously, because we're using 4 amps. But what is? Oh, yeah! Jesus. Owie. My finger. My poor little finger. I used to be a finger model. Not anymore. No more finger modeling for me. How am I going to pay my rent? I have to cancel my OnlyFans account. All right, so it's fairly obvious at this point why this thing is dead. And this cap is actually so hot, I may be able to just... Nah, it's stuck on there firmly. Yeah, there we go. And now we're down to taking no power. So I can turn my power supply off. That was one boiling hot cap there, my friends. Happy late Father's Day. I am not your father, Oreo the cat. Eric is your father. Alright, I need to find a cap that I can put there. I'll be right back in just a moment. Hold on, folks. Don't touch that dial. Now, you know what I did that was really stupid here? What I did that was really stupid here is I didn't follow what it says in my own damn guide, which is check for a short before bothering to check the enable. I just didn't do that. You know, you should check to see, make sure there's not a short circuit. Happy Mother's Day, if that's how you want to be. You have wiped my butt more than Erica. Yeah, that's the kind of grammar that I would expect from Oreo the cat. Can't even spell T-H-E-N instead of T-H-A-N. I'm not your father. I would raise a child that could speak and spell properly. Shame, Oreo, shame. Anyway, yeah, you should check for the short circuit before everything else, because it's easier to check for. Because here's the thing. A big part of this job is how fast can you get everything done, so you can get as many of these in and out as possible before your brain dies. Now, if you're checking a rail to see if it's present and it's not, you can then check to see if there's a short without having to look for the enable or the voltage in pin of the chip that creates it in the schematic. There's no extra work involved for that besides changing your meter. You don't have to go to the board view. So by checking for a short circuit before you check to see if the rail is being told to turn on, before you check and see if the chip that's creating it has its enable present and its voltage in, then you save yourself a little bit of time. And I remember back to when I was doing all the business board repair by myself. No Anel, no Paul, no David, no Camille, no Chris. And back in those days, time really mattered because it was just one person. You know, we had half the gross revenue that we do now. However, we also had like 1/5 the amount of board people. Yes, at one point in time there was no Paul, no Anel, no David, no Chris, and no Camille. It was all just me. And we had, I think, half the gross revenue that we do now. But we had 1/6 as many people. And in that time, it really didn't matter that you could be as fast as humanly possible and as efficient as humanly possible. Because here's one of the things to understand. When you're broke, you have a lot of time, but you don't have money. So making the best use of your time is the best way to go from having lots of time and no money to having little time and lots of money. Or at least, an acceptable amount. Because in New York City, what counts as lots of money really doesn't count as a lot of money anywhere else in the world. But anyway, what we're going to do here is see if this has a fan spin now. I'm pretty sure it will. Bada bing, bada boom, we're done. Quality assurance, testing. That's it for today. And as always, I forgot my line. See you in the next video.